Hello, everyone. Mom, I want a dog. Mom, I want a dog this Christmas. But you know what? Dogs are a responsibility. And here to talk about that is Susan Janet from Rosemary Rescue. Susan, welcome to Soul Talks with Alka.
Thank you so much. I am so honored to be on Soul Talk. I love your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me just introduce my rescue to you. Rosemary's Rescue Ranch is a compassionate, all-foster 501c3 rescue. We are all volunteer, and all of our funds come from fundraising and donations.
Nice.
We are an intimate group. We are all best friends at our rescue, and we work together to save one life at a time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let's say a family is looking for a puppy this Christmas. They have a couple of choices, right? They can go to a breeder, they can go to a shelter, or they can come to a rescue. So can you explain first what the differences are between the three?
Oh, I'd be so happy to. First of all, breeder, you have to be careful with a breeder because there are some good breeders out there. There are some reputable breeders out there who breed designer dogs, and people get really excited about these purebred dogs. But what most people don't know about breeders is that in many cases, these dogs get very sick, and we have seen so many purebred dogs end up in our shelter, in our rescue, because what happens is with some of these breeders, they overbreed the mother. And the mother has litter after litter after litter because it becomes a moneymaker for her. It's a job, it's money. And these puppies come out with all these problems. So you have to be very careful with a breeder. The other thing you have to be careful about is many of these quote unquote breeders are actually puppy mills in disguise. Like, don't go to Pennsylvania and buy a dog. Don't go to Ohio and buy a dog. What you're doing is you're supporting puppy mills from the Amish. And this is a big business for them. These poor dogs, the parents, are kept in small crates, and all they are used for is breeding. There's no human interaction. It's so cruel. So please, please, please reach out to me and I'll talk to you about it. That's awesome. Shelter is a wonderful place to go to adopt a puppy or a dog. Our shelters are overflowing with animals. And in many cases, many of our shelters here are what's called kill shelters.
Oh.
The reason for that is they take stray dogs or dogs that are dumped, they take them into the shelter. And once their kennels are full, those dogs have a few days to get adopted, and then they get euthanized because they need to open up more room for more animals that are brought in. Now, a rescue goes to the kill shelters and pulls those dogs and puppies that are on the euthanasia list.
Oh, that's nice.
We're the 11th hour save. We're the last save, the last chance for these animals. So we go to the shelters, we pull them, we put them in wonderful volunteer foster homes, and these animals are loved and they are rehabilitated. And by the time you get them, we don't adopt them out till they're ready, but by the time you get them, they are acclimated and they're ready to be in a family.
Oh, that's awesome. So what is the process? If someone wants to come to the rescue and adopt a pet, what is the process that they have to go through?
Well, first they'll email me, they'll reach out to me, or they'll message me on Facebook. You should add me on Facebook because I do most of my adopting through Facebook. But first you'll reach out to me. I'm the president and the co-founder of the rescue. And what I do is I have a conversation with them. We start out with email and I'll ask them to tell me about themselves, tell me about your family, your lifestyle, your home, your experience with pets, and we'll have a wonderful conversation in email. If I like what I'm hearing, I will send them an application. They can fill out the application, which asks specifics and details. I want to know about their pets. I want to know if they've ever surrendered a dog before or a cat before, and for what reason. Why did you do that?
Right.
Some reasons are legitimate. Most aren't.
Right.
But we want to know. We want to know the age of your children.
Yeah.
because we want to know if the dog that you're asking for is a good fit. Because one dog might be good for a 12-year-old, but not good for a 6-year-old.
Right.
So we take it on a dog and a family case by case basis.
So you're basically matching families and the puppies.
We're Match. We're
Yeah.
Match.com for
Beautiful.
animals. That's
That's
what we
awesome.
are. We are a
That's awesome.
matchmaker.
Yeah.
Absolutely, in essence. And then once they fill out the application and I get that, and if I feel like we have a good connection here, a good match, I'll talk to them. And then I get a really good feel from their voice, the way they answer questions, the questions they ask me, what they tell me about themselves. And then the next step is to meet in person. And you take all of that together, and there's a lot of intuition.
Absolutely.
That goes into it.
And you do this because you want to make sure that the puppy is going to the right home and the family is adopting the right puppy.
That's right. We want everyone to be a match.
Yeah.
If you say you want this dog because it's pretty,
Yeah.
it may not be a good fit for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
We want to set you up for success because we don't want that dog to come back to us.
Yeah.
We'll take it back. We'll always take back our animals. But what we want to do is get it right the first time. And that's when you go through a rescue, there's more vetting involved. There's more personal research done. When you go to a shelter, it's a one and done. You go in, you fill out an application. If you have a fenced in yard, if everything is right, they'll approve you, blah, blah, blah. You take the dog home. With me, one of the most important steps of my process is how the dog interacts with the family. We need to do a meet and greet. And you know who ultimately decides whether that dog gets adopted? The dog themselves.
That's awesome.
If the chemistry is good between the dog and the family, then and only then do we say yes.
Wow. So what are the costs involved from the breeder to a shelter to a rescue?
Yeah. Well, okay. So a breeder will cost you thousands of dollars, and it's unnecessary. And the reason I say that is there are so many beautiful, loving, perfect animals in shelters and in rescues that need help. There is no reason to support someone who's breeding for a living to make money. That just goes against every grain of what we're about. But they charge thousands and thousands for the perfect dog. Go to a rescue. Rescues will charge anywhere depending on the dog. An adult dog can be about $350, a puppy $475, some will do $425, somewhere around there. And shelters are very much in line with that. So a shelter and a rescue will charge the same thing. All we're trying to do, we're not trying to make money. We're trying to cover spay neuter. We're trying to cover medical costs, vet examinations, shots, immunizations, all of that. And that's what your adoption fee. And anything left over goes towards saving the next animal.
Nice. So, a lot of people will say, I want to get a breeder, like from a dog from a breeder, because they come from a clean slate. I can train them. I can do whatever. When it's a rescue dog, it depends on where they've come from. If they have quote unquote baggage, like I'll have to fix that. Well, what is like the process that you say for a dog to get adjusted to a home?
Great question. We call it the 333.
Okay.
And rescues will help you with this. Mostly when you work with a rescue, it's like having your own personal broker. It's like having your own personal helper. So the 333 rule is we always caution people when they bring a puppy, a dog, a cat, anything home, anyone home. It takes 3 days for that dog to trust you, to start unwinding and to start feeling confident in that arena. This is shell shock for them. Your home is culture shock. They don't know where they are. They don't know who you are. They don't know if this is a stopover to the next miserable place. They don't know what's going on. So give them 3 days to just be free and just be comfortable and pamper them through those 3 days and feed them and give them treats and pet them and help them feel safe. So that's your job. I always temper expectations. The first 3 days mean nothing as to what your dog is going to be like.
Yeah.
Then we do 3 weeks. So we say the first 3 days, get through that. And then we ask you to give the dog 3 weeks to start acclimating. It takes
Mm.
3 weeks. It takes 3 weeks for that tail to come out from underneath between the legs and come up and start wagging. It takes 3 weeks for the dog to start trusting that, hey, maybe I'm staying here.
Yeah.
Maybe this cool family is mine. Maybe I can let go of my guard. I can let my guard down and start feeling what's going on here. So we asked for 3 weeks. With all of my rescues, I always say, if you're feeling like this isn't working, give it 3 weeks and let's talk in 3 weeks. And if it's still not working, I'll take the dog back. We want it to be happy. We don't want you to stress. And if they come to me in one day and say it's not working, and if I feel that it's not working, I'll take the dog back. So you've got that 3-week window. It's kind of like a trial period.
Nice.
Let the dog unwind. You will not meet that dog until after 3 weeks. And it takes 3 months for that dog to become yours, for that dog to own you, and for you to own that dog and to become a member of your family.
Yeah, it's like an acclimation period. Totally.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Think of it as a child. If you took a child and put a child in a foster home, that child would mope around. That child wouldn't know what Jen was up. That child wouldn't know if this was forever or just temporary. That child would not know who these people are. And just think of a child acclimating in a foster home.
Yeah.
Very same thing.
Yeah. For someone who's looking for a dog and saying, okay, you know what, I'm ready. What are some things that they need to be aware of to know, okay, now this is a lifetime responsibility. It's not just a gift for the holidays. It's a lifetime responsibility. So what should they be prepared for?
I always caution people about getting a gift for the holidays, because one thing we want to drill into your head is that it's a lifetime commitment. It's a family decision, and that no one should be surprised with a puppy. No one should be surprised with a new dog, because they need to be on board also. We always ask to meet every member of the family, because you want to see how that animal is going to interact with the person who's getting the surprise gift. Also, you want to make sure you've done your research. Not all animals are created equal. A beagle is a lot different than an Irish setter. And there are different habits and different needs. Some need to run back and forth and do zoomies in a fenced-in backyard. And some are just couch potatoes who just want to cuddle and watch TV with you. So you need to know what you're looking for before you commit to taking on a new animal. It's not just getting a dog or getting a puppy. It's what lifestyle are you looking for?
Yeah, absolutely. So people who are looking and saying, okay, you know, we're considering a dog. How long is generally that period of a decision from I want a dog to, okay, I'm going out to get a dog? Is that generally like is there a set of questions that you ask or how you mentally prepare yourself?
Yes, it's going to take a little time, because there's a very thorough vetting process. We're going to even call your vet if you have another dog and find out if that vet is up to date on immunizations, if that dog gets a regular vet visit every year. There is going to be a short process, but the good news is we'll keep you informed, and we'll communicate with you and let you know what's next, what we're doing next. So you won't have to wonder, like, am I getting a dog? Am I not getting a dog? And honestly, if I'm free and I'm not really busy, because I work, this is a volunteer position. And if I get your email and I can get all this information, we could do it the next day. Or it could take a week or a weekend. We have to bring a lot of people together to make it happen. So there's not one recipe. It's all on a case-by-case basis.
So for people who are looking for a dog now, tell us what was a couple of pieces of advice you would give them?
Looking for a dog? Okay, well, I would use petfinder.com, because petfinder.com is a wealth of information. That is to the animal industry what the multiple listing service is to the real estate industry.
I love it. Every time, every guest always puts the analogy somehow on real estate.
Well, you got real estate. I love it. Okay. I've been a licensed realtor since 1987. Just throwing that out there.
Awesome.
Okay. So, that's where you're going to get all your options. I wouldn't even recommend staying with just one person. I would say Find out what's out there. Do your research. See what's
Yes.
available.
Yeah.
And if you like someone, then work with them. It's,
That's
you know,
right.
chemistry has a lot to do with the process and
Yeah.
how you feel you're being treated. And not all rescues are created equal also. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you really
course.
have to make your own judgments on a
Yeah.
case by case basis.
Yeah. And you have to know that this is not a fun toy that you're getting. It is a lot of responsibility, and it ends up becoming mommy and daddy's dog, even though it started to say, you know what, mommy, I want a dog, but it becomes mommy and daddy's dog, right?
If little Stevie wants a dog, give him a stuffed animal. If he wants a puppy, give him a stuffed animal for Christmas. But if the whole family wants a dog, then we're going to talk. Because ultimately, little Stevie is not going to walk that dog 3 times a day or feed that dog. Mommy, you just got a dog. And I introduce you to my rescue, who I pulled from the Newark kill shelter on death row.
Oh, so sweet.
He's wonderful. He was cowering in the corner. And I went there, got him out of there. He's never leaving my house.
Oh,
sorry.
And he's happy.
He's very happy.
Yeah.
Harper. Somebody's walking by. That's the best burglar alarm system you'll ever have.
Right. Hey, but you know what? They come with everything. It's you have to accept them in every form, because that's what they are. They're, you're bringing another life to your family.
I had someone reach out to me this morning and say, I want a dog who doesn't bark.
Oh.
And I said, I can't give you that.
Yeah.
I can't commit to that.
Yeah.
So you have to have realistic expectations. That's also a big part of it. So, you know, I recommend that you have a really good heart-to-heart with a rescue person and talk about what your expectations are. And then maybe that rescue person can temper them for you and help you have a very realistic expectation of what it's going to be like to bring a new life into your family.
That's awesome. So if you or your family are considering having a puppy this year for the holidays, for Christmas, please talk to Susan, talk to the rescue center, and find out if you are ready for that responsibility, because it is lots of joy, but it is a responsibility. We want to make sure that you're up for that. And with that, we want to wish everyone happy holidays. We want to thank Susan for coming. Susan, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. Thank you for giving us some proof of what having a puppy is. And thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. We thank you for coming here. If we have made a difference to one life, that's what we want. One puppy, one house, one family at a time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming to Soul Talks with Alka.
Thank you for having me on. And I'm happy to help anyone who wants to friend me on Facebook and reach out to me. Let's talk.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susan. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.